Hi children, welcome back to our classes. So this is the last class of the chapter electricity. In this class we are going to discuss two topics. The first one is the practical application of heating effect of electricity and the second one is electric power. So first we are discussing the practical applications of heating effect of electricity. Before that I have created a playlist of this chapter electricity. You can find it in my channel. You can go and watch from our first class there. When we start thinking about the practical applications of heating effect of electricity, many devices come into our mind. The first one may be the laundry iron, which we use commonly in our homes. Then the electric bulb, electric kettle, electric heater, fuse wire, all are the such devices which work based on heating effect of electric current. So let's start with the laundry iron. Laundry iron. As we know, the use of laundry iron is to iron the clothes. So it should provide us more heat. So which kind of material is providing us more heat when electricity is applied? Definitely the materials which are high electrical resistance are providing us more heat. So the material which we use in laundry iron should be of high resistance. It should be of high resistance. Then also this material should not melt easily. The material should not melt easily means the melting point of the material should be much higher. So high melting point. High melting point. Then so we are searching for a material which has high resistance and which has high melting point to make a laundry iron. So finally we found a material which is actually an alloy of nichrome. It is nichrome. The name of the metal is nichrome, which is an alloy of nickel and chromium. The material that we use in our laundry iron is nichrome. Its name is nichrome. Nichrome. It is actually an alloy. Alloy means it's a mixture of two metals. They are nickel and chromium. Nickel and chromium. So nichrome is the material that we use in our laundry iron. The very next device that we need to discuss is electric bulb. Electric bulb also working based on heating effect of electric current. So we know that a bulb consists of a glass container and inside that we can find a filament. So this filament is emitting the light. So the material emits light means it is heating up and provides us light. So it is heating up more means the resistance of the material should be much more high. Okay. So electric bulb, simply I am writing bulb. Electric bulb, the material that we use as filament should be of high resistance. As of laundry iron box, the filament material of filament also should have high resistance and it should emit white light. Should emit white light. Simply I am writing white light. White light, and it should have high melting point. That means it is heating up. Because of the high resistance, it is heating up. If the melting point of this filament of this bulb is very low, it should melt. It will not provide us white light. So the melting point should be very high. High melting point. High melting point. High melting point. So the material that we use as the bulb filament is tungsten. Tungsten. It has melting point greater than around 1000 1000 degrees Celsius. Its melting point is that much high. So because it has high resistance and it has high melting point, it will give us white light. The next and very important device which works based on heating effect of electric current is electric fuse. Simply I wrote fuse. A fuse is a device that protects our electric appliance from damage. That means if there any chance of short circuit, then it will increase the temperature of the circuit and leads to damage of our electric appliances. So fuse melts and breaks the electric circuit in case of short circuit. So let's discuss how it works. Before that, let's discuss what are the characteristics of fuse wire. Characteristics of fuse wire. We already discussed that it should melt and it should break the circuits. It should melt means its melting point should be very less. Low melting point. Low melting point. The material that we use as electric fuse is an alloy of tin and lead. It is an alloy of tin and lead. Alloy of tin and lead, which has very low melting point, is using as a fuse wire. So let's discuss how the fuse wire works. So we can draw a small circuit consists of a bulb, a small switch, and a fuse, and works in a current, whatever it may be. I am using an AC current. So when the switch is turned on, the current start passing through the circuit. Then the bulb glows. This is fuse, okay? Fuse. And if over a more current is entering to the circuit, or any short circuit is happening, then what happens? The temperature of the circuit increases abruptly. In that case, we know that the melting point of fuse wire is very low and it will melt and break the circuit. Understood? The melting point of the fuse wire is very less. In case of any short circuit or overloading, what happens? The fuse wire melts and it breaks the circuit. That means it will not affect our devices. This is how fuse wire works in our circuit. So the laundry iron, the electric bulb and the fuse are the main three devices which works based on the principle of heating effect of electricity, and also working principle of electric kettle and electric heater. Everything is same of the laundry iron and electric bulb. As we discussed in our previous classes, electric power is rate of doing work, or it can be defined as the rate of consumption of energy. We know that electric energy that we consume, according to Joule's law, the electric energy or the heat energy produced in an electric device can be written as the electric energy H is equal to I square into R into T. We already told that power is the rate of consumption of energy. So what we can do is simply we can divide with T. H by T is actually the power is equal to I square RT divided by T. The energy by T, or the rate of consumption of energy, it is the power. P is equal to I square into R. I square into R. Electric power P is equal to I square into R. Also we know that it is rate of doing work. Rate of doing work. Electric energy is rate of doing work. So we can write as P is equal to voltage into current. P is equal to V into I. So these two equations are electric power. We can use P is equal to V into I and P is equal to I square R. Both the equations to calculate electric power. And also we can find out more equations using Ohm's law. Ohm's law, we know that Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. We can substitute for I and R. We can substitute instead of I as this implies V by R the whole square into R. We can, but Simply we can write R and R cancels out, V square by R. So we have three equations, I square R, V into I and V square by R. These three equations are electric power. We can use these three equations to find electric power. In our daily life, we are paying electric energy that we consume. We know that electric energy is the power into time. As we know, E is equal to electric energy is equal to power into time. The unit of power is watt and the SI unit of power is watt and the SI unit of time is second. So the energy, the unit of energy is watt into second, watt second. But in actually we are using much more, very much higher energy which we can represent in watt second, but it is a huge number. So for our convenience we are using some another unit which is kilowatt hour. That means the watt is represented kilowatt and second is represented as hour, kilowatt hour. That means 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt, and we use, instead of a second we are use hour. Okay, so 1 kilowatt is equal to kilowatt hour is equal to kilowatt hour is equal to 1000 watt into 1 hour. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So 3600 seconds. Simply we can write 3 into 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. The unit of energy is joule. So instead of watt second, we are using kilowatt hour in our daily life. It is nearly 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule.